Well, hey there, and welcome to the Ope-Eh Three-Way Pro Wrestling Podcast on this episode 64. I love that number. It's a great number. It's affiliated with a great generation of console gaming. Pierce, I don't know if you feel the same way.
I love the Nintendo 64. I have a Nintendo 64 shirt somewhere. You should have told me. I would have done some digging.
Oh,
you
shoot.
got a 90s on here.
There you go.
So,
attaboy.
Same era.
Yeah. Gotta love them 90s, boy. But, yeah.
I was barely alive for them, but I was there.
Yeah, I mean, you were there. You can at least say that much, right? Like driving through a state, like New York City or driving through. At least you could say you were there. So no one can take that away from you.
Exactly.
But, man, we had a lot going on over the last couple of days, like Thanksgiving and everything. How was your Thanksgiving, by the way?
It was good. I spent some time with my immediate family. Mom made a bunch of stuff. I made some mac and cheese. I thought we were going to eat way earlier than expected, so mac and cheese ended up being for breakfast. So
nice. Yeah, can't go wrong with it.
It still came out good.
Yeah, you can do a lot of different things with it. You can throw eggs and shit in there too, make it your own like little breakfast thing. I made turkey for the first time the other day.
It looked good, man.
Yeah, it was I was so proud of myself. It's like a rite of passage. You know what I mean? Like you make the bird. I put mom in the seat, let her relax, do what she needs to do, just chill out. She didn't have to do the cooking for the first time this year, so I was very, very pleased with that. I was very happy. So.
I told my parents I want to take an attempt at making the turkey. My dad's like, well, maybe you want to make a turkey at home before doing that.
I mean,
I was like, I want to do it, but I want to do it different from my mom. Like, I would probably want to spatchcock it and, like,
oh, yeah.
season the ever-loving hell out of it, like, kind of Cajun style. Maybe do a lot of butter in the skin and everything. Like, yeah. I had a couple ideas.
I had a thought like that too. I guess like my thing was like I used this as kind of a burner year because it was a little bit of rush with all the shit going on prior to. But like, I mean, I just kind of stuck to some of the basics. Just put some oil on, put a rub on, a bit of glaze here and there. But like, it's a good foundation to know like, oh, like this isn't that bad. Like when you're going, because a lot of people get intimidated. I feel like by cooking a bird. And they're like, oh, shit, it's going to be like a 4-hour thing if it comes out moist or whatever.
The only reason you should be intimidated is if you try and deep fry it.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah. So, yeah, man.
Not as hard as it seems.
It's not.
You have to turn the burner off. When you get the oil up to temperature, the bird's got to be completely thawed.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is.
There's a couple of big steps you got to take. If you don't, you will have a burned down house.
Fortunately, that wasn't me. And I guess this area has a reputation of houses burning down. So, gas-powered everything around here. But that's a whole other story.
Wisconsin's got a rough reputation after this week because a certain criminal escaped from their halfway house.
Oh, yeah, they got her. I saw that.
They got her, but, like, for those who don't know what we're talking about, again, we talked about it on Wells when we were over there, some pretty notorious criminals from the state of Wisconsin, or did a lot of their work in the state of Wisconsin, including the Thunderman stabbers. So, and she escaped, but they caught her and her accomplice. So,
yeah,
hopefully she goes straight back to jail.
Yeah, or the mental health. I mean, they're shutting down the hospital, but that's a whole other discussion too. I could get into that. It riles me up, brother.
That's not what we're talking about today.
Nope.
We're talking about some pro wrestling. We had Full Gear last weekend. We got Survivor Series tomorrow because we're recording on a Friday. This will probably go up tomorrow, Saturday at some point. I got another Thanksgiving to go to tomorrow and tonight. So we're kind of, I'm going to be, don't talk to me on Sunday. I'm not going to be able to work.
Comatose.
And then we'll do a quick hits on Gold Rush.
Yeah.
Which happened on Tuesday, excuse me.
Oh, all good. Happened Tuesday last weekend, the week before. Or actually this weekend, the week before.
I think we're just going to talk about this Tuesday's because last Tuesday's not much happened either.
Nah. It happened.
It was a show, and that's fine. But if you want to follow us, feel free to do so at Ope_A3_way, X, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Should be getting some more TikToks up coming soon. And then you can see the new episodes every week on YouTube. And Donnie, we miss you. He will get them up on his Spotify when he can.
That's for you, Don. Hope you're watching. Yup.
Not hey dare, a dare.
Yes, we must always remember. But speaking of
Pour out a
remembering,
couple of laps on.
speaking of remembering, Pierce, isn't there a little segment that you do that involves a bit of remembrance? How we lead into that?
Yes, and well, on this day, I see clearly everything has come to light.
Yeah,
Uh,
this is the
we don't
copyright
have
friendly version.
we're on Riverside. We are not fancy enough to have the paid version of some of the other places we are, like StreamYard,
Mm,
and I haven't figured out OBS yet. So
we'll get it.
we're here, we're having fun. Uh, it's a pretty short one, 1985 Starcade, in one of the most infamous versions of the Dusty finish. We talked about it a month ago. There was the Hard Times promo leading into this.
Mm-hmm.
Dusty Rhodes would defeat Ric Flair, making it look like he had won the NWA World Title, but the decision was reversed, and he beat Ric Flair, but he did not win the title.
Yeah, many such cases following that. Didn't set a great precedent.
Dusty Rhodes loved his Dusty finishes.
It's riling up the people.
That's hard times, baby.
Yeah, making hard times for me watching Dusty finishes.
And then the other thing we got to talk about, 2016 on an episode of Raw. Sasha Banks would win the WWE Raw Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair in a Falls Count Anywhere. This is where they were doing the back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't say what I had written on there because usually I like to put on a little like maybe what I could put the name of the episode as. Donnie was usually the one to do it, but let me know your thoughts. We're doing this on air because we don't care because we like to have fun. Full Gear, plates, and WarGames.
Full Gear, plate, and WarGames. Did I hear you correctly?
Thanksgiving, buddy. That's a full plate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Full
Gear.
We have full plates, and we have WarGames.
I'm confused. What?
Well, we just had Thanksgiving.
Correct? Yes. Yeah.
And you have a full plate for that, correct?
I did have a full plate until it wasn't.
And we had AEW Full Gear.
Yeah.
And we also have WarGames. We're workshopping it. We'll figure it out.
Yes. Okay, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down. It took me a second, admittedly.
It's a little convoluted, but
I'm still probably recovering from my turkey nap too. So I'm just like the brain's a little astute. So
we're also recording on a Friday. We're on Riverside. Like we don't know what.
This is very unusual. Very unusual.
But speaking of Full Gear, that's what we're going to start with.
Yeah, we sure are.
We had 13 matches on the card. I watched 9 of the 13. Mm-hmm. I ended up buying the paper. Well, I had a gift card, so I got the pay-per-view for free.
There you go.
In the first match, the Bang Bang Gang, Austin Gunn and Juice Robinson with Ace Austin defeated not the Acclaimed, but the Acclaimed Big Bill and Brian Keith and the Outrunners in a $200,000 four-way tag team match. It happened.
They're going to buy themselves a whole batch of forklifts, apparently, from that post-match promo they had. So I'm very excited to see what the boys do with that. I'm very down with the Bang Bang Gang yet. I told Austin as much. Colton, is he injured? I ain't seen him.
Possibly.
Because, I mean, if it's Austin and Juice, I'm like, usually it's the Guns who are doing that. But, I mean, whatever. Juice gets on the card.
It is usually the Ass Boys. In the next match, Boom and Doom, Big Boom, AJ, and QT Marshall with Aaron Solo, Big Justice, and the Rizzler defeat RPG Vice, Rocky Romero, Trent Beretta with Don Callis. 12 minutes. Also happened. Trent still likes pushing down children, which is hilarious.
You can't keep getting away with it.
Never change, Trent Beretta.
I mean, no, certainly not. Yeah, rides in a minivan with his mother and bullies small children. That's pretty on par for Trent Beretta these days. And it's not like RPG Vice was ever like a very serious tag team, anyways. I mean, they had a little bit of moment here and there, right? But
they were when they were Roppongi Vice,
right,
for what it's worth.
Yeah, for a bit. But I mean, now we're kind of settling into like this role where we're pushing ahead newer, I say it, unquote, talents like Big Boom AJ, who apparently Tony Khan is pretty high on now. I guess he was pretty aversive to
Well,
using social media
so
personalities before.
so quote unquote normal person may not know who Roman Reigns is, but
Hmm.
they would know who Big AJ is.
I guess that's how you
He is
define normal, but
well, like from a just like a non-wrestling fan perspective.
yeah,
That's what I mean by normal,
that makes
because
sense.
we're crazy over here.
The normies. Yeah, got to placate the normies. But
And speaking of the opposite of normies, Eddie Kingston and Hook defeated the Workhorsemen in a minute 50. Anthony Henry, JD Drake happened.
yeah, they beat they didn't have enough time on ROH to do that match. This isn't me talking shit on ROH, by the way. You'll never hear me, not on this podcast, do that. But,
That's what me and Donnie are for.
Donnie, if you're watching, I'm sure you
And
have.
and in a match that bled into the pay-per-view, it seems like that's the norm for that last pre-show match, which I think is kind of fun. It is dumb, but it's also like in the middle of the match, people are jumping over the ropes and there's fireworks happening. Like, that's always a cool visual.
Yeah.
LI team Mystico, Mascara Dorada, and Neon with Alex Abrahantes defeated the Don Callis family, Kazuchika Okada, who showed up like 5 minutes into the match.
Great.
Inosuke Takeshita and Hechicero by submission. Mystico also showed up 5 minutes into the match, but he was attacked backstage. It was a very fun match. I guess I don't understand CMLL's like tag team rules, because people can just go into the ring and try and get the win whenever they want. There's no tags.
Yeah, it's pretty chaotic, but I mean, it makes for a good show, like within that context. There's a reason why not triples, trios matches are usually preferred when it comes to like when you consider tag versus trio. Like in
Right.
Mexico, they're a lot more prolific than your standard tag. But yeah, I mean, a lot of chaos happening within the Don Callis family. There seems to be a lot of chaos happening within these factions in AEW as of late, and we'll talk about that a little bit more later as well. But particularly with the Callis family, between, as you would figure, right, Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita, these are two massive egos coming ahead within the family, and we all saw this coming. We've seen this develop, but I guess we'll just figure when it finally all pops off, hey?
Right. And speaking of a faction that's kind of on the edge of splinter, Pac would defeat Darby Allin by pinfall, 16 minutes, 55 seconds. This was a very fun match. Darby was down to the ring, and he was covered in tape because he was on fire the other day,
Mm-hmm.
which is a normal Darby thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, these guys, it was an odd Pac match, but I think because he's gotten so like big, he's not being a real jumpy boy as much.
As if he wasn't big before. I mean, he was certainly a jumpy
But
boy.
like he was lean.
Yeah.
Like he was a lot leaner.
Yes.
He's gotten a lot like bigger. Like
yes.
he's beefy.
Well, he's older too. That's the thing. Like you consider how long Pac has maintained that frame through the years, and I mean, I feel like with age too, like he can't be, especially when you got guys in the company who are just as flippy, if not potentially more so than Pac. And Pac's like a high bar to match. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of these guys are really, you know, really trying to keep bar with that. And also when you factor in the fact that you got like, even Will Ospreay is toning his game down too, right? So like Pac getting older, getting bigger. It's cool to see him like really put on his power game more as he kind of adapts his style. But like he can still hit a black arrow like nobody's business. He's got crazy rotation.
He attempted it in this match. He missed. He said he wanted to do this. Sorry, I'm adjusting a nicotine powder. And I'm all over the place, man. We are off the fucking rails, and it's not even 10 minutes in. And it was odd to see him in long boys. Like, I'm just not used to that yet.
I mean, they got him off the singlet top. He's at least going and, reminding people how jacked he is. Which, I don't know.
But seeing him in long boys is a little odd.
Yeah.
finish was fun. Wheeler snuck in to distract the ref, even though Pac said he wanted to do it by himself, and then he hit Darby in the head with Snake Bat, and that was that.
Yeah, well, doesn't sound like very leaderly quality coming from Pac when we've had this discussion starting, I think, last week. What's going on, and we can discuss that later as well. But what's going on within the Death Riders and their hierarchy?
Right. In the next match, a four-way tag team match, the winning team would choose the stipulation for their semifinal match in the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament. The Timeless Love Bombs of Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa defeat the Babes of Wrath, the greatest people on earth: Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Megan Bayne, Marina Shafir with Penelope Ford. 13 minutes. Yeah, this is probably the right decision. Tony announced that it is going to be a hardcore holiday death match. So do with that what you will. Everybody got their shit in. It was a very fun match. I don't have too much to go on. I enjoyed this match, but it was very much like, it happened. I'm glad that they're showing out for the AEW Women's World Tag Team titles that are coming up.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're trying to sustain interest in the tournament. I thought it was very apropos for AEW to have this massive, lengthy stipulation for a match that's not even a final. And it's just so much involvement, right? Like so many pieces moving around for something that's relatively inconsequential.
Whoever wins that is facing the Babes of Wrath.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll see what happens. I think that the Babes of Wrath should be the first champs, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Love Bombs.
Yeah. Same what kind of happened with TJ. Like those were my favorites going through the tournament, but there's also speculation about what's going on with Anna Jay in particular. So, perhaps that was a motivating factor. Perhaps they're waiting for certain papers to get signed or not. We'll see.
It's hard to say. I think AEW is in a very good place everywhere in the company right now.
Yeah.
So,
but TJ's kind of been there from day one, so that's where my heart was at. But if things are going as they are, then I guess I just got to understand. So.
Completely fair.
Yeah.
Tag team match for the World Tag Team titles. FTR with Stokely defeated Brodito, Bandito, and Brody King. 20 minutes, 5 seconds. This was a fucking banger.
Yeah. Would you expect anything else? Right. Exactly.
I'm not saying Brodito is my wrestler of the year, but he's definitely had a fucking incredible year.
Are you talking about Bandito? You said Brodito.
Yes, Bandito.
Collaboratively.
Well, I could put either one of them on there. Brody King or Bandito, but Bandito specifically.
Yeah.
He's not my wrestler of the year, but he's in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah. He
was great in this match. Mm-hmm. The crowd chanted Stokely's got no hose I know I said it in the Discord. They did it in a certain cadence.
Was it White Stripes? Was it Seven Nation Army?
Yes.
I believe so, yeah.
Stokely's got no hose.
Of course.
It was fucking great. Stokely took a dive and was dead for the rest of the match.
Nice. Yeah.
And it took a lot to put Bandito down. They gave Brody King the spike pile driver on the apron.
Mm-hmm.
They hit him with the shatter machine. He kicked out. Spike pile driver kicked out. Then one more shatter machine that did it. And shout out to Brodito, a thrown together team, and they brought those tag titles back to where they needed to be. Not that the people that they beat for them were bad tag team champions, but we gotta look at Brodito because it seems like the world tag team titles are finally being put back to where they were a couple years ago when AEW had the best tag division on the planet, bar none.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely agree. The thing about it too is, and I brought this up as a grievance, where you got Bandito, who is the Ring of Honor world champion, yet having great matches on his own, defending the championship, but then it seems that he's getting more recognition being in this thrown together tag team with Brody King, who's like a lost puppy after disbanding with the Hounds of Hell, right?
You have to look at it from the perspective of the fan. you're a diehard ROH guy, and that's fine. You're maybe watching week to week. How many people are actually watching ROH week to week?
I couldn't tell you, but I presume it's very low. They should have
How
kept
many
it on
people are
YouTube.
watching AEW week to week?
Well, right. And that's another question that could be discussed of like what does AEW viewership pertaining to ROH wrestlers, how can that be used to benefit that product? But I mean, that's been a question since ROH came back in its current form.
Well,
So
it's a very
yet to be
simple
answered.
answer, but they're not really doing it.
No,
But um,
I mean,
I'm ready to go on to the next match.
I was
Or
just
you
gonna.
want to keep going on this one?
I was just gonna speak to. It was interesting the ending because Brodito, the way he ended the match was very like what you would expect a heel to do, with like a flip off and all of this stuff, like a defiant
I think it
ending, a
was
last
more a moment
stand.
of defiance.
Yeah, it was
Like
interesting. I feel like you normally
it
see
was
that
like
from heels.
you have to kill me like
Yeah,
to beat me,
sure.
and that's pretty much what they did.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I mean,
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like I'd expect to see that from a heel to a face before the face finally, pulls the plug on him. But yeah, it gives it gives Bandito a bit more character, and hopefully continues to generate intrigue for him, and hopefully get some more eyes on Ring of Honor. Because yeah,
that's a tough one.
yeah, it is. Yes,
Uh,
yeah.
in the Casino Gauntlet match for the inaugural AEW National Championship, Ricochet won by pinning Kevin Knight 22.5 minutes. This match was fucking so fun. Started out with the Hurt Syndicate, and then they got taken out immediately, and then they didn't come back till like the last 2 minutes, which is fucking weird. I
Mm,
would have liked to see a little bit of wrestling between the two.
yeah.
And then it was let me pull up the participants. Ricochet came out third, and then Claudio, Daniel Garcia, Orange Cassidy, Wheeler Yuta, Kevin Knight, Roderick Strong, Mark Davis. Mark Davis came out to nothing, which
Mm,
makes me mad because he's incredibly good.
mm,
And then he started doing his pile drivers, and people fucking lost their minds.
mm,
Which the pile driver where he's like holding their legs and then pops them up and hits the regular pile driver. You know what that's
mm,
called?
mm.
His name for it is the close your eyes and count to fuck.
Oh, little RTJ reference. Okay, I see you. I see you.
Uh, Speedball came out, and then they tried to pin Ricochet at the same time, him and Kevin Knight, and then they kind of got into it, which was a lot of fun. I mean, this was just balls to the wall. Claudio was killing people. Daniel Garcia was killing people. Wheeler was killing people. Like the
Claudio grabbed
Death Riders really.
Claudio grabbed Orange Cassidy by the front of his pants, lifted him with one arm, and hit him with a backbreaker. That was some of the scariest shit. That was a vulgar display of power. But can you expect anything else from Claudio, though? He's been doing shit like this on and off for decades. You know what I mean? At least. So, but man,
And then
like,
the final entrant was Matt Menard, and he
yeah,
got a huge pop.
yeah,
And he didn't even care about the title. He went straight after Daniel Garcia, and I really
yep,
like that.
yeah. He had to go
And then
discipline his son.
Ricochet picked the bones. I picked Ricochet to win this. So I was glad I was right. And I mean, he's probably the best option for a first champ.
I'd say so. I mean, Ricochet deserves reward for all the work he's put into his character and for the relevance that he's getting the Gates of Agony right now. Like, it really fits. It gels very well. I feel the national championship in general, though, is such a weird concept. Like, there's so many weird things going on with the title scene in AEW right now. Like,
Pretty fucking belt though.
it's
It is a damn
very
good looking
yes, it
belt.
is very reminiscent of the old NWA, which I'm sure Billy Corgan is having a fucking field day prepping up some litigation right
Well,
now.
no. I guess Tony. I watched the Tony Khan Ariel Helwani interview, and I guess they talked about it.
Oh, they did.
He said that's fine.
Interesting.
So,
Well, I mean,
and that's why Shockwave's not happening because that was an NWA thing. And he said, "Hey, if
mm,
you guys are still doing this, I'm gonna pull my trademark, and then you guys can keep doing it."
interesting. Okay. I mean, if Tony paid the bill for it, then I suppose. But yeah, I mean, you got guys like Mike Mondo, the new national champion over at NWA, talking his shit and venting out, which I can kind of understand. Like, I would say if this doesn't result in a partnership between AEW and NWA, it'd be kind of disappointing because I feel like NWA they had a hot spot back when Power first came on, and I believe it was during the COVID era. But I feel like they could use a bit more. They got a young guy, Billy Silas Mason. I say young relative to the rest of NWA. He's 34, 35, but he's not an
Yeah,
ex
but right when
WWE
they were
guy.
getting hot, then the sinister minister James Mitchell decided to snort cocaine
Oh yeah,
to
that's some
for
Hain.
pay-per-view, and that
Yeah,
ruined it.
yeah. I mean, but I feel like they can get a better redemption. I feel like there's still value to some degree in the NWA brand. And I know, if Tony is a self-affirmed, Turner Broadcast wrestling mark as he claims, if he actually values the national championship, I have to believe that he values the legacy of the NWA as well. So I would hope that like there'd be some semblance of partnership, especially with two national champions being kind of the thing. So it's a good way to promote both belts and both brands. I mean, maybe I don't know.
Right.
That's
I
me
guess
being
we'll
fantasy
we'll
booker
see
though.
what happens.
Yeah, it'd be neat.
You know, yeah, I said it once. We're armchair bookers. We're nothing more than that.
Nah,
So,
but still, it's fun.
uh, Kyle O'Reilly defeated John Moxley by submission, no holds barred match. Right winner.
Huge for
This
Kyle.
was very big for Kyle. This was one of the most like technical holds barred matches I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Like the two weapons they used were a chain and then of course a fork.
Naturally, the signature.
And that was it. It was more or less just trading submissions and trying to slay the giant that is John Moxley. But again, it's in his character. He got put in the submission and he quit.
Well, it's great too for Kyle because if there's ongoing story between these two guys, like Kyle is firmly in John's head, which is suggested by the fact that John's trying to trade subs with him. And I feel like you're going to see at least one more match between these two guys. Now, it's interesting too because we talk about the potential leadership dynamic in the Death Riders. Who do we have? Or we actually do we just have this match where it was Moxley and Claudio who are supposed to face each other in the C2 in the tourney?
It's next week.
That's next week. Oh, okay. Yeah, I had not been able to catch the weekly this week, but I had read about it. That will be interesting, especially considering recent events. You look at the post-match
Well,
interview.
at the end of this match, he attacked Kyle because he was getting helped by John gave him like a tip of the cap because he beat him.
Yeah.
And which was very unlike John Moxley in the Death Riders
Right.
run. But then he was getting help to the back, and then he attacked him, and then everybody in the Death Riders was kind of out there. And Daniel Garcia kind of looked at Claudio, and Claudio just said, "Kind of, come on, let's go."
Yeah.
So I think it's in the works, but you know how AEW is. They like to. It's not as bad as Triple H, but like they like to build up a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
And they had the post-match with John after Blood and Guts too, where you have everyone in the Death Riders kind of just like looking at each other as Mox is, mouthing his shit off. So there's clearly a sense of there's certainly a lack of confidence that's present in Moxley's leadership and in his ability to get shit done.
Agree.
So we will see how that goes.
Now in the bloody, well, I don't know, maybe the main event might have been bloodier, but like in the most a match that probably should have been called no holds barred instead of just no disqualification. Mark Briscoe defeated Kyle Fletcher 25 minutes to win the AEW TNT Championship. This was a fucking banger. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
It was also gross, but like it was so fucking fun. Like these guys just beat the hell out of each other. There was a table covered in barbed wire that Kyle went through with a razor's edge.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle got the screwdriver, stabbed him in the head, licked the blood off, which again, I don't like those spots. I think that's
ridiculous.
But then he put Mark on the top turnbuckle. He stabbed it through the bottom and then tried to do a brainbuster onto the exposed screwdriver on the top turnbuckle.
Oh, yeah.
Just like, I think that just would be murder.
Yeah.
Well,
you don't win titles with murder.
may not penetrate Mark Briscoe's head. We got to.
I mean, but there's the attempt there. Look, think of the precedent you're setting as an AEW champion. You're trying to like
Well, he's
bring
not anymore.
people. No, and it took a hell of a lot to put Kyle down too. I thought that match would have ended with the froggy bolt through the table from the ladder, but no. So
Which was dope.
yeah, it was something.
Which, can
man.
we talk about the froggy bow for a second? I said this
Yes.
in our group chat.
Yes, we
It's
may.
so simple, but it's so fun. Like, it's just an elbow where he goes like this.
It's just the right
Like-
amount of theatrics. Doesn't Kyrie Sane have a very similar elbow to that too? And people like rant and rave about that.
Hers are a little different because she like positions herself so perfectly in the air that it always hits flush. Like, I think she has probably the best elbow drop besides Macho Man because she hits it so crazily flush, and the way her body moves through the air, it always looks great. I don't think I've seen a bad insane elbow.
But yeah, no, the froggy bow was nuts. Took a J driller to put Kyle down. I'm glad that we don't see Mark Briscoe in the Callis family portrait. I'm glad for
That
Mark.
would have been very funny, but it also would have just extended this story for no reason.
Yeah, and we gotta stop. We gotta stop punishing Mark, honestly. And it's great for him that he's able to continue success. You know, following the laws of his brother. Like, he's done everything in ROH that there is to do, frankly. So now this seems to be the next logical evolution for Mark as a singles competitor. He referring to Kyle, I feel, is, and this I think will show certainly in the C2 as well. I think he's ready to take that next step up. I was thinking maybe he would want to stay in the TNT picture to continue to elevate the prestige of that title, but I feel like we're ready to take it up a notch. Kyle just continues to impress in every match that he's in. Great fucking.
And he just beat Okada.
Yeah.
He just beat Okada.
Yeah. So
that's a huge deal.
That's gigantic. Like, imagine telling someone who's watching New Japan, you know, back when, you know, what's it, Aussie? What was their team name? Was it
Aussie Open?
Aussie Open. I was gonna say Aussie Airborne, but that's Irish Airborne's the other team with the Chris. But like, no. But imagine like years ago saying like Mark Davis's tag team partner was gonna beat Kazuchika Okada in a singles match. Like that. It's so crazy to see how far Fletcher has come. Yeah, and he's got such a high ceiling, and he's very young yet too. So
I think he's only 25.
Yeah, he's very young. But he's got great matches with Ospreay and Takahashi under his belt, and Okada, obviously. Like, just so much great shit. Now Mark Briscoe. The sky's the limit for Kyle Fletcher, man. Absolutely.
Fully agree.
So,
in the $1 Million Trios match, Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks, Nick Jackson defeated Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express, Jungle Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus, 19 minutes. This was a very fun match. It was kind of focused on Kenny Omega not being able to like do it anymore. Like, his diverticulitis very much. Well, let's be honest. This is a very good version of Kenny because he's used to being the best wrestler in the world.
Yeah.
He is Kenny goddamn Omega.
Yeah.
But the diverticulitis took him out for over a year. And it's punishing him. And, you know, even with that, Kenny Omega having lost a step is still better than most professional wrestlers ever.
His match with Will proved that, for sure.
Yep. This was a very fun match. I think it's more for what happened after the match.
Yeah.
Because the Callis family went down, started attacking Kenny and Jurassic Express, and then the Young Bucks finally turned face again for the first time since I think like 2022.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
And they reunited with Kenny, returning to the original Elite. And now you got the Jurassic Express in there. They made up with Jack too, which Jack maybe should kind of look over his shoulder because you can't really trust the Young Bucks ever. But I think that's probably for the best. I think the Young Bucks' heel run has run its course. The EVP run was just not good. They were good. They had go away heat. They didn't have heel heat. They had go away heat. Nobody wanted to see that.
Yeah. I mean, and people have had their opinion of the Young Bucks since they've been on the scene in general, right? But then you add this kind of evolved asinine gimmick to their profile, to their presentation, and it became a lot. And it kind of reminded me of like the JAS. It's meant to like parody a lot of the tropes you saw in like WWE kind of pro wrestling with like sports entertainers in the JAS, and now these heelish authority figures in the Young Bucks, and then to a lesser extent Kenny when he was doing that shtick for a little bit too until they booted him.
Yeah, but I think AEW should never have authority figures. Like
No, it's not
Tony
that.
shows up so rarely that it's impactful when he's on screen.
Yep.
And like so it live on screen, I should say. He still makes those random announcements, but those are fine for the most part. But I think having the Young Bucks come back to the face side and then having them with Kenny for a little bit, let them enjoy this run. So
Yeah, I think they're at a point now where they can kind of really just have fun with what they're doing. And if they want to go out as a unit, I'm not saying like go out, but like kind of recede away from like the main event picture, from the main focus of the show, right? Then I mean, just let them do. Let them do.
I want to throw this out there. They should not beat FTR. Like
No, no.
FTR is going to be losing Cope and Christian whenever they come back.
I
So
genuinely
that,
hope so. That should have been the plan for. I mean, they should have had that set up for all out, but you know,
well, having them just immediately in a title shot, their first match as a unit for the first time since 2011 may have been a little hand-fisted. So
arguable. I mean, it's consider the caliber of the team too, and consider their legacy in pro wrestling as a tag team. I feel like you probably could have gotten away with it, especially considering both what they contributed individually to AEW as well. I mean, that's just my take on it, but I mean, I can certainly see how maybe people would think that'd be a bit, like you said, ham-fisted.
right.
It's gonna happen though. So.
In the next match, Chris Statlander defeated Mercedes Moné by pinfall to retain the AEW Women's World Title.
Thank you.
23 minutes. This was fucking great.
Yeah.
They worked over Chris's arm the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like it damn near looked like it was a shoot injury because it came off of a dive. But they kept working it. Mercedes was a vicious heel in this match. Chris looked great. I mean, her entrance was very fun. She flew down from a rocket, which was, interesting.
Yeah.
The
whole alien gimmick.
Had all of her boy toys holding up the titles. One of them was Tommy Invincible. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did see that. Saw that big juiced up jelly bean looking dude that was standing next to him too.
Oh my god!
Looks like he ate Bobby Lashley. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Right.
But
it was very much like it was Chris finally getting the demon off her back. She was never able to beat Mercedes for the TBS title, but she's the fucking world champion, and she showed it. She was a resilient baby face, and she is showing she's a deserving champion,
which is great.
And I don't know where she goes next. Top of the card is a little light. Maybe they go Tekla. I think it might be too early. Maybe they do Chris versus Jamie Hayter. Like, I think they got a lot of options, but they don't have a definitive number one contender right now.
I'd be very interested.
I kind of wish they would bring back the. You remember when AEW had the rankings?
Yeah.
I think they should bring those back. I know that was a big in the middle of the CM Punk thing.
Yeah.
But I think they should bring them back right now because it's hard to say who's next in line for Chris.
Right. I mean, I feel personally, and I believe I mentioned this last week too, that a Marina Shafir feud I think would be really refreshing. I mean, she's clearly been very dominant amongst the other women in the division, and again, like frankly, has just not been mentioned much in the title picture, either TBS or world title. So I feel like that would be natural for, especially with all the drama going on within the Death Riders.
If they do it, I think they would have to put the title on Marina to make her kick Moxley out. And I don't want to see Chris lose the title this early.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, they could certainly use a good, solid, like actual, genuine face, not an anti-heel like Toni Storm, which I feel she was more anti-heel than face. They could use a good
She's a very big anti-hero because she was still very heel-ish in what she
right,
did. She didn't care about everything,
right.
which it helps make character. Like I remember her on commentary just being like, "And kids, please try this at home." And you're like, "Dude, don't say that. That's not something."
Right. Yeah. I mean, unless you're,
Um,
Dom Mysterio, I guess too. That's it. I'll
right.
pop.
Now in what honestly, besides Jay winning the Rumble, might be the most shocking win of the year, realistically. Samoa Joe defeated Hangman Adam Page by pinfall due to Hook turning heel and rejoining the Ops.
Mm-hmm.
16 minutes in a steel cage match. This was fucking brutal. Joe was bleeding buckets.
Oh, it was so fucking gross. You couldn't even make out the lines in his face. Just there's so much blood. It like caked.
He got a gutter.
Oh my god, it was just disgusting. But very on point.
I don't think anybody expected Joe to win this
No.
title. I'm fine with it. Give me World Champ Joe anytime. I'm completely okay with it.
I was starting to enjoy Hangman.
Which I wanted to bring up. His first reign wasn't great. I think, I was re-listening one of our older episodes where we had to say, we got to see if Hangman does not have another good reign, he will never touch his title again. I think he's going to be able to get this title again.
Yeah.
This was, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it was about a 6 or a 7. But it was a good reign, and it showed him that he could be the face of the company, and I think it was good enough to where he could warrant another world title run. It's not something where he's just never going to touch it again.
Yeah, I think when we said that, I don't know if we anticipated how effective his heel turn, if he was going to have that kind of a heel turn, and also I don't think we anticipated how effective it was going to be for his character. And then the subsequent redemption and all of that, which, speaking of redemption, he came out to a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2, the final mission, I believe. He used that theme as his entrance.
Something like that. I think the song name is American Venom. I played Red Dead for a little bit, but this is just me. I'm stupid, and it's a Rockstar game, and I kind of want to play it like GTA and just kill and rob people. And
That's what you do.
Supposed to do that in Red Dead.
Oh, you're not?
Not in Red Dead.
No,
there's an honor system.
There is, but I've heard people say the opposite as well. It's a multifaceted experience. You kind of just do what you want with it.
Yeah, but I know you're supposed to be more honorable.
I mean, yeah, for the good ending.
I want the good ending, and I don't want to continue after on reload saves because I fucked up, But anyway, back to the match. These guys beat the shit out of each other. I did not expect a Hook heel turn. It was a very fun heel turn.
Worked.
And then after the match, Cage rises up. Arena goes black, and they kind of botch it, but I think the botch worked super well.
Mm-hmm.
You just see a silhouette of Nana, and you hear him, "We in the money, my friend." Comes back, and it goes up. Lights come up. You see him.
Yeah.
He says the same thing. I think it works super well.
Yeah. It was
even if it was a production mistake.
Yep.
And then you get Swerve and his new theme, which is a fucking banger. And he's also yoked out of his mind again.
Hella jacked. Yeah, boy's been spending time in the gym. Been sucking on some protein shakes. But he's ready to go.
There is, when Swerve is there is a culture shift. Business is about to pick up.
Yeah.
I think AEW has been kind of missing stars since Will, Swerve, all these people got hurt.
Yep. And
Swerve's back, and now we're going to see somewhat of an alignment between him and Hangman.
Mm-hmm.
Because now AEW's got its next big bad in the Ops.
Yep.
And that's going to be, we're in for some interesting stories coming up.
For sure.
And I'm always happy to see Swerve. He's top 3 wrestler in the world for me.
Yeah. According to PWI too. He's top three. He's not number one, not number three. He was number
Number
two.
one on the Ope-Eh awards last year.
He was. Yeah. Well earned. Well earned. I just hope that whatever goes on with Swerve showing up doesn't like cut into Hangman. You know what I mean? I feel like there's still more
I
he's
think
owed.
because they have an understanding. I think Hangman gets another shot. I think that's your World's End match. Because it makes sense. He was just champion.
Yep.
Get your rematch.
Yep. Got
Get
screwed.
out of the way, but then you can have Swerve and Joe again. But I think before that, you finally get Hangman and Swerve teaming.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that seems to be where it's going. How long that lasts, we'll see, but it's definitely in the cards.
What are we rating this?
I give this a good I give it a good 8. I feel like just because of the
I'm at 8.5.
Yeah, like the quality of the matches and then the unpredictability factor at the end, which ended up being something positive because we get Swerve back and we get this new intrigue with his alliance with Hangman supposedly. So
there's a
I'll tune
lot
in.
good to come out of this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
There wasn't much bad if there was any. I mean, I think this is, besides maybe All In,
Yep.
AEW pay-per-view of the year for sure.
Yeah. You're putting over Kyle O'Reilly and Mark Briscoe. You're opening up Kyle Fletcher. Like, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good stuff. You're solidifying Chris Statlander. Great stuff.
And now we go from one cage to two. We got WarGames, Survivor Series WarGames, San Diego. Tomorrow now.
Mm-hmm.
We're about 45 minutes in. We'll go through the next two cards decently quick because I gotta drive pretty far. So,
oh yeah.
In the men's WarGames match, apparently it's Cody Rhodes' team, even though it's definitely CM Punk's
team.
CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, and Roman Reigns versus The Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar. Brock falling is one of... Brock, since he has returned, has ripped his pants, squashed John Cena, and then fallen over on an entrance that he's been doing for 20 years.
Yeah, completely busted his ass. Right center cam. It was hysterical, but like he definitely made the most of it. And Paul was just standing there like a disapproving father, just ashamed of his son. There's a lot of great going on in that, and I feel like Brock putting his hat on Braun serves as something of a foreshadowing because we've been talking about. Some people have been talking about. Maybe we haven't, but some people have been talking about Braun and Brock. So,
I mean, that should be the money match coming out of this. WarGames matches are usually pretty easy to predict because they go with the same thing every fucking time. That being said, yeah, I gotta go with the faces.
That's a super stacked. That's a super stacked match in general.
Yeah,
I'm very curious to see who would pin Brock, or I guess they wouldn't have to pin Brock. It's not elimination.
I mean, there's 3 people in that match that could feasibly pin Brock.
I mean,
like,
sure.
We can't. 2 of them have. One needs to get a win back from 12 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you got 2 world champions in that ring too, like that in and of itself, and Roman Reigns, who kind of is in his own tier now. But yeah, Punk winning the match, getting the pin would be the most poetically sound in that.
I think the person getting pinned is either Logan Paul, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre for the heels. If it's the faces, it's the Usos.
Yeah.
I got to go with the faces. I don't see them losing this match. If they do, that would be very interesting and be a lot more fun. But like, again, it's WarGames. Faces go over.
Yeah, exactly. When you have 2 world champions and Roman Reigns, who's effectively the face of the company, on that side, like imagine that side taking the L in a match of this caliber. You know what I mean? That's a lot to think about. That's a lot of implication. But we'll see.
On the women's side, we got Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, and AJ Lee in her second match back. It's a fucking WarGames match. That's hilarious. versus Nia Jax, Lash Legends, the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane, and Becky Lynch. I'm going the opposite of what I predicted for the men's match. I think the heel side, should 1,000% win this match.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it's Bliss or Flair getting pinned here
To start that
I
kind of
think.
decline.
You could pin AJ Lee here, but I don't think people would like it.
Oh, probably not.
Um,
No, but I mean, good for her. Like they didn't have this when she was around last time. It's probably just a treat for her, honestly.
I think this is going to be a show-up match for Lash Legend. I think this is like her welcome to the main roster, and she's gonna, like, when she was at the Evolution Battle Royal,
Yeah,
and she was the biggest star in there besides Stephanie McCare.
yeah, for sure.
There's
Yeah.
a reason she was second to last or the last person eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
She's gonna show out in this match, and I hope she gets the win for her team.
Yeah, I mean, Lash Legend, I feel like is someone they're going to be placing a lot of stock in the future. Like she's just another one of these like just just very statuesque, we'll say, females coming out of NXT to the main roster, and she's going to be going up against like your Rhea Ripley's, your Bianca Belairs, your Jade Cargills. I'm sure there's at least one more that Raquel Rodriguez is another example, right? Like just and you have like these collective, and I feel like they all kind of have their own way that they stand out. And I mean, Lash Legend, I feel like would be no exception to that. They already kind of did that little clash with her and Jade Cargill back in that one multi-woman women's title match some time ago. I can't remember which PLE it was on. If it was, I don't think it was Clash in Paris, but I'd have to look back. But anyways, like they are giving Lash focus, and I think even too, like Logan Paul being kind of an odd man in his match is gonna give people something to remember. Just because, like, when you consider again the women's match, like the men's match, is so stacked with star power. The face team is like literally like Mount Rushmore of women's wrestling in the last like 15 years or so, right? And it's just I see. You know what? I could honestly see AJ Lee taking the pin. I could see Becky getting some comeuppance from losing the Intercontinental Championship. I think that would, continue to string that story along. It keeps Becky relevant. It makes AJ relevant, and it leads into an inevitable blow-off match that'll happen between the two of them. Um, Finally, one-on-one, not in a tag team, not in a WarGames, right? Like that match has to happen at some point, and I feel like that's going to be
Right.
will be the vehicle to lead into that.
That's probably your non-Rumble match at the Rumble. That'll happen at the Rumble. They're gonna build up to it because there's nothing in between. Maybe it happens at day one, but like there's no PLEs for the next 2 months after this.
Right. It's going to have to be somewhere big, right? So that's how I see it going.
This is still a wild sentence to say. In a singles match for the Intercontinental Championship, champion John Cena defends against Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah. In San Diego.
If Gunther is winning this tournament, which all signs point to yes at this point, John Cena should lose here.
Yeah.
Do not put the IC title on Gunther. Like,
dude, more than winning the tournament, I feel like this match and subsequent or previous matches have said a lot about WWE's confidence in Dom. Now, I remember when he was on Impulsive and he was talking about retiring early and wanted to do that. Like, if he's got this many matches with Cena and he's already the AAA Mega Campeon, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like this next year is gonna be a lot for Dominic Mysterio. Imagine, because he's already having Cena's last PLE match with him.
he is the King of the Ring frontrunner right now.
I have to believe that's true. Yeah, Dom's gonna have a big year next year for sure. He's got all like this, and people talk about how a lot of WWE's main event scene is just like guys in their ranging from their mid 30s to their mid 40s. Like Dom is still under 30, so I feel like he's definitely, if there's any one guy under 30 that they're going to push to that main event scene within short order, besides Braun Breaker, obviously, Dom Mysterio is that guy. And it's been crazy to watch him from where he was then to in the COVID era to where he is now. And
right.
Just I hope Dom wins this match just for the sake of getting kind of that rub from having seen his last PLE match with him and taking the title off of him. He'd be a double champ again, which would be great. Yeah, I have to believe Dom's winning this, because again, I also don't want to see another Gunther IC title reign. He's already done that.
And that's nothing on Gunther.
No,
we want to put that out there.
Yep.
He is above the IC title now. He
frankly,
is definitively the best Intercontinental Champion ever.
Yep.
And he does not need to hold that title again.
No, he could be WWE Champion next, my opinion, but which I hope would be the direction they go for him. But
it's hard to tell what the direction is for Mania right now. I mean,
yeah.
Also, Mania single day tickets are available. They're available now, way earlier than they were last year. Prices are not looking too bad if you want to take a look, Brandon.
I'll take a look. Yeah, Black Friday pricing. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit of an incentive. Crossing fingers.
I'm still going to wait because, and this is to all the viewers and listeners, waiting for the tickets is a better idea because the prices keep dropping, and then you can get your tickets, and then, hey, maybe you can look at upgrading your tickets for the difference in price. That's what we did last year. We went from the 400 seats to the 120s.
Yeah, everything went better than expected, that's for sure.
And that upgrade price, $20.
Yeah, no problem. NP. GG's.
In the final match of this card, there's only a 4-match card. WarGames takes up a lot of time. I still think they probably should go up to 5-6 matches per PLE at this point. Probably 6 or more, like 6 to 7, 6 to 8, 6 to 9. Like they need to bump these up a little bit.
6 to 9.
We don't need 5-match cards constantly. We need
a little something. Need a little more.
For the women's world title, champion Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella. I don't think we need to go longer for 1 minute than this.
No.
Stephanie Vaquer is not losing this fucking title. And if she does, they made the dumbest mistake they did this year.
No. Nikki Bella does not need to hold any championships again, ever, personally.
And this is all respect to Nikki Bella. She did not pave the way for shit. She went from being a bad divas wrestler to an okay women's wrestler, and that's fine. But she did not. I'm genuinely not trying to be mean. I'm just being honest. Like, she's super popular, but that was because of Total Divas, Total Bellas, not because of her in-ring work.
John Cena.
It's never been. And John Cena. Like,
yeah.
It's just how it is.
What did they chant at her that Cena left you?
I respect her work. She's got a deserving place in the WWE Hall of Fame. That being said, she was never the in-ring pro and reason that the women's revolution happened that WWE seems to think that she is.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever buying that.
There's a different woman on this card that is the reason, and that's AJ Lee.
Mm-hmm. Who will be getting her WarGames match this upcoming Saturday, which is tomorrow, which I'm excited about.
Yes, she will. And then we are going to go over night 2 of Gold Rush.
We got to rush through this Gold Rush.
Jack Drake defeated Sean Legacy to retain the Evolve Championship. I heard this is a very fun match, but it only went 7 and 8 minutes. So
that's all you need. I mean, Sean Legacy's got a lot of hype behind him. Had a lot of hype when he was at the ID level. So, I mean, I think we'll see a lot more of him. When he shows up on NXT, I'm thinking he's going to be a big deal, personally.
His match against Axiom a few weeks ago was great, even though it was a speed match.
Yeah.
Like, they showed out.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you only need a little bit of time to really figure it out, right?
And speaking of the Speed Championship, for the vacant Women's Speed Championship, this went 8 minutes, believe it or not. There was a sudden death overtime. Fallon Henley defeated Zarya.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for Fatal Influence, I believe is their name, right?
Yes.
It's good for them. I like
very good for them.
I like the stable that they've got going on. I like it for JC. I like it for Fallon. I like it for...
And it helps the Zarya and Sol Ruka split.
Yes.
Whenever that happens.
Yep.
So
agree.
In a triple threat match for the Knockouts World Championship, Lei Ying Lee defeated Kalani Jordan and Jordan Grace to win the title.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, I wasn't
I
expecting Kalani to hold it for very long, but
I'll say this. Our buddy Graham GSM noted this too. Since what was it? No Surrender or whatever. When who was it? When Ash by Elegance won the title after she dropped it, they have just done nothing good with it. It sucks for Ash, like genuinely sucks for her, because it seems like it was a retirement and she was kind of forced into retirement.
Yeah.
But then they put it on an NXT wrestler, and then you have Indy Hartwell, who was being built up as like the big baby face for TNA and for the Knockouts. She loses her shot, and then a month later they just put it on Lei Ying Lee, which is very good for her. She's a deserving champion. She's been underrated forever, but like, what are they doing here?
I mean, they're centering it back into TNA, and it gives them kind of an underdog story in Lei Ying Lee because people, I think, had written her off for a little while. Like she had been on SmackDown before as Zia Lee, and she was kind of in the background, right? And then she moves to TNA, where they're trying to build her and make her more of a character. Her English is very good. She came over as a Chinese national, and she like has been putting in a lot of work just to kind of like assimilate herself, I suppose, and like kind of get herself to be won over by fans. She's been improving in the ring. Like, is she like Charlotte Flair crisp in the time that she's put in? No, not quite, but I mean, she's certainly improved. And I think she's a good babyface champ for TNA right now. In the women's in the Knockouts division, she's got a good thing going with Zia Brookside as well in the Angel Warriors. Um, yeah, I
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a joke in there somewhere, I know, but no, but it's great for Lei Ying Lee. And she also did this on an NXT show, which fine, right? It gets eyes. Continue to build on, momentum for
But
TNA.
again, putting it on Kalani and her heel turn was good. Like, don't get me wrong, but like, Indy Hartwell was right there.
She was, and she still is there too, right? So they'll probably figure that out in due time. It's kind of like with Will Ospreay. People are like, well, why ain't he champ yet? Like, he's obviously like this guy who they are building, and he's this talented. Now, granted, Indy's not like a Will Ospreay level in-ring talent, but she's someone who you can kind of slow burn with, and ultimately make her a champion at the end.
Right.
It's good for Kalani too because she's got experience more being like a top tier champ, quote unquote, right? I feel like they still got plans for her in NXT yet. Whether or not they involve like Sol Ruka as an example, just kind of bounce between those two, or if like Sol is heading to main roster with Zarya, which could be a thing because they both got their SmackDown patches anyways, right? I mean, I don't know. There's a lot going on. Kalani, I feel like definitely still has more to do in NXT in any case.
Yeah, totally agree.
So we'll see how that goes.
In a singles match for the Women's Evolve Championship, Kendall Gray would retain, defeating Lainey Reed. She was with Ren Sinclair because now she is part of the Ren QCC. And Ren actually has people in the Ren QCC now, so good for Ren.
Wow.
Very nice person. We met her.
Oh, yeah, total sweetheart.
It's the right winner. That's all. I mean, what more do we need?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. No. Lainey was getting a bit of heat, so good that they put that down.
And in the main event, Miles Bourne would defeat Trick Williams to qualify for the Iron Survivor. Again, right winner. I think it's very possible. I don't know when Trick's swan song is going to be. That could be it.
Yeah.
But like, he's effectively done everything there is to do, plus some in NXT.
Right. I mean,
so I think
it's got to be coming close, right? Like, we got the Rumble coming up.
We'll see him in the Rumble.
I think that's it too. Honestly, we're coming very close.
With the Rumble, Saudi Arabia, I don't know if they're gonna know who Trick Williams is.
I consider the fact that they've been kind of putting WWE out there in the country now for the past several years, right? I got to believe that I believe they have access to NXT through Netflix. Do they not in Saudi Arabia?
I have no idea what they use.
I would think.
No clue.
I would think
I don't
they'd
want
have.
to. I don't want to say they do. I also want to say they don't. Maybe I can use NordVPN and tell you if they do or don't. But like, it's hard to say because a lot of those people just know the mainstream stars.
Sure, but I have to believe that NXT, given how much it as a brand has been pushed. I mean, granted, yes, it's still developmental. You know, it's kind of taken that developmental title back from its time when it was black and gold and people are trying to call it a third brand, right? But it's still a very prominent fixture within the WWE ecosystem. And I gotta feel like they have to have some idea who Trick Williams is. If not, they'll probably
Right.
catch people
It's
up
just,
pretty quick.
it's hard to say
Yeah,
at this point. So,
I think the Rumble
but
is it though.
that about does it for this episode. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up, Brandon, before we say goodbye and I hit the road for Thanksgiving number 2?
Uh, no, I was looking at night one too. JC Jane won her match. I mean, beat Tatum Paxley
Yeah,
to the surprise of probably
because
no one.
everybody else turned heel on her.
Yeah,
It's unfortunate, but like I get it.
it's the story of Tatum Paxley though, so they'll do with it what they will.
Suffering builds character.
Yeah, yeah. Blake Monroe, Zarya threw in the towel for Sol Ruka, so lending more to the disbanding. Dark State still dominant, and Ethan Page and Chelsea Green also still being very fun as a Triple H.
Yep. Shout out to Donnie, second greatest Canadian ever behind Ethan Page.
Overtaking Bret Hart. What an honor,
Yes.
as always.
But I think that just about does it.
Yeah.
So this is your favorite podcast saying thanks as always for stopping into the Ope Three-Way. Have a beer on us, and we will see you next time. Have a great night. Happy Thanksgiving. And enjoy the leftovers.